I was at my son's grave when the call came, kneeling in the mud, clutching a wilted bouquet of sunflowers, trying to apologize for the 100th time for being the worst father in the world. I never thought a phone call could bring him back, but that one did. Just not in the way I ever imagined. I lost my son 4 years ago, not to cancer, not to an accident. I lost him to my silence. His name was Eli. Bright kid, sharp mind, sensitive heart. He was only 17. I was the kind of father who believed men shouldn't cry, that feelings were weakness, that saying, "I love you too much," made boys soft. Eli was soft. He wrote poems, played piano, loved his little sister more than anything, and he was hurting. I saw it. I ignored it. I'd come home and find him staring blankly at the wall. I'd see the scars on his arms and pretend they were scratches from the dog. He once said to me, "Dad, do you think some people are just born tired?" I didn't even look up from my newspaper. I said, "What kind of nonsense is that? Go outside, play some ball?" He nodded. 2 weeks later, I found him in the garage. Rope, chair, note. "Tell Mom I'm sorry. Tell Gracie I love her. Dad, I waited for you to see me. You never did." Grief is cruel, but guilt is crueler. I replayed every moment, every missed opportunity. Every time I could have hugged him and didn't. Every time he said, "Dad, can we talk?" And I said, "Later." Later never came. My wife left me 6 months after the funeral, said she couldn't look at me without hearing that garage door creak. I didn't blame her. I started drinking a lot, got fired, moved into a tiny apartment. I visited Eli's grave every Sunday with sunflowers, his favorite. I talked to him, begged him to forgive me, begged God to send me back one more day. 4 years later, on a rainy Sunday, I knelt beside Eli's grave and whispered, "I'd give anything just to hear your voice again." My phone rang. I almost didn't answer. Unknown number. I picked up. A calm male voice said, "Is this Mr. Carter?" "Yes." "This is Pastor Daniel from Second Hope Youth Shelter. I know this might sound strange, but we have a young man here. His name is Micah. He's 17. He came in last night soaking wet, bruised up, carrying nothing but a photo of you and a note that said, 'He's the closest thing I have to a father.'" My blood froze. "What?" I breathed. "He says he met your son Elijah at the river 4 years ago. Said your son talked him out of jumping, gave him his coat, told him, 'You're not alone.' I wasn't either. My dad just didn't know how to love me. But maybe yours will." I dropped to my knees, shaking. The pastor continued, "Micah says he's been trying to find you ever since. He's been in and out of homes, but he kept that photo. He called you his maybe dad. He said if he ever found you, maybe he could have the father your son never got." I drove 4 hours that night, hands trembling, heart broken, hope flickering like a dying candle. When I walked into the shelter, I saw him, 17, skinny, bruised, but with Eli's eyes. He looked up at me and whispered, "Are you him? Elijah's dad?" I nodded, too choked up to speak. Micah stood, took something from his jacket. It was Eli's coat, still intact, still stitched with his name inside. "I owe him my life," he said, "and if you want, I'd like to be part of yours." We sat in that parking lot for hours. I told him about Eli. He told me about the bridge, about how Eli sat with him in the cold, shared his story, told him, "Don't give up. Even if your father's silent, even if the world's loud, you matter." That coat? Eli had taken it off in the middle of winter, said, "Take this. It's proof someone sees you now." Micah cried in my arms that night. So did I. Micah lives with me now. We don't talk about the past every day, but some nights, when he plays the piano Eli used to play, I sit by the door and cry quietly. He calls me Dad, not out of habit, not out of obligation, but out of hope. Because sometimes the child you couldn't save leads you to the one you still can. That call didn't just alter my life, it resurrected it. It gave me a reason to breathe. It gave my son's death a whisper of meaning. And maybe, just maybe, Eli knew. Maybe he planned it that way.